In this episode of Highlight Sundays, scams, myths, and things that could kill you. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 25th week of 2014 and here are your highlights. So let us start off with our PSA of the week. Our first article comes from Malwarebytes Unpacked and is entitled Huge Snake Eats Man Alive. Video scam spreads on Facebook. Now I've seen this particular one surface on my news feed for a couple of times now. As far as I'm aware, there is no actual malware associated with this, but you are actually forced to share this before you get to see the clip. Apparently there is an actual clip involved with this, though I'm not sure what it is. But the thing is, if you attempt to access it via this thing that is passing around, you will actually have to go through a survey and, well, somebody gets money from this before you are directed to your content. So this is just one of those survey scams. I originally thought there was some kind of malware attached to this, but apparently there isn't. However, there is a high chance that whoever who has fallen victim to it will have it shared on their wall, and that will in turn get more victims. So the whole bunch of usual advice applies. First, don't click on things that seem shocking or, dramatic in a way, because chances are you will fall into this kind of trap. Second, don't share this sort of content. And third, if you see someone sharing this kind of content, do give them a poke and tell them, hey, this is a scam. So moving on to more shadiness, this article comes from ExtremeTech.com and is entitled SSD Shadiness. Kingston and PNY called bait and switching cheaper components after good reviews. So here's the deal. Apparently for some SSDs out there, they are originally manufactured in one way. This obviously has its merits, it gets sold, people give it good reviews, and generally there is a good reputation associated with this particular product. And then somewhere along the line, the manufacturer comes along and just modifies some of the components within the product to make it cheaper to manufacture. But this product is actually still sold under the same name, same make, and same model. And as a result, when people want to buy this and they do their research, they will only see the glowing reviews, not knowing that what they are about to buy is not the same as the product that is being reviewed. Definitely quite a dirty trick, and according to this article, it seems that, well, the SSD manufacturers are not too embarrassed about doing this. Apparently the companies who are doing this can still justify it since, well, the minimum they are providing for the product is a bar that draws somewhere, and this lowering in quality does not make it go below that bar. And so, according to them, they feel it is okay. Unfortunately, there is not a whole lot you can do except just entirely avoiding the brands that do this, since it's very hard to check which set of specifications you are actually getting, because you're actually going to have to look at the batch number to find out. It becomes difficult to know about and actually prevent this from happening. It is an extremely unfortunate state of affairs, but well, I guess it's just important to know that this can be done and manufacturers are doing this. So yeah, I guess all we can do is keep up the awareness of this issue, and hopefully the companies will feel more pressured to do this less. We move on to our next article from Mashable. This one is entitled 5 Phone Charging Myths Debunked. Now I always love an article like this, mainly because battery charging is just an entire science of its own. There are just so many intricacies to understand to actually just maintain a good battery life, and it doesn't help that different battery technologies over the years have actually thought different things, and you do have to do different things for different type of batteries. Out of the 5 myths covered in this article, a few are pretty self-explanatory, but there are some that are very useful as well. For example, things about charging your phone overnight, or some people actually not charging their phone until it's completely flat. All these are very useful things, so I highly recommend you head down to the video description and check out this article. It's not a very long read, but it is extremely informative. Alright, let us now move on to our recommendation of the week. This one comes from Gizmodo and is entitled The FDA has a Flickr gallery of recalled products that could kill you. Now, sensationalist title aside, this does seem like a pretty smart thing to do. This also is a much more user-friendly alternative to actually, reading through the formal recall reports. This is just a graphical pictorial way of just scrolling through all the products that have been recalled. It's just extremely convenient and all in one place, so it makes, researching on this if you ever have to, very easy. And of course, if you ever wanted to check something, it might be easier to check it pictorially instead of actually entering details regarding the product into a search box. And that's it. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Now, I don't have a huge amount to vlog about, except I do want to mention that unfortunately next week I will have to skip off on an episode of Highlight Sundays again. I will be busy for all of next week, so I don't think I'll have the time to actually hunt for articles and stuff like that. So my apologies about that. Things will return to normal from the subsequent week on. Of course, all your usual videos throughout the week will not be affected because all those have already been shot and uploaded. And it is up to YouTube to release them on schedule. If YouTube does not do that, it is also beyond my control. But anyway, yes, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Highlight Sundays. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Hello, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember that I appreciate every like, favorite, and comment you give me. If you'd like to see more from me in the future, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And for more updates outside of YouTube, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at 0612TV. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.